Hello and welcome everyone to this brand new video that I'm going to make about how to set your goals in 2024. Now, I'm a bit pissed because for some reason the video messed up when I recorded this the first time, so hopefully it's going to be fine now. But I'm going to go exactly how you can set yourself up for success going on to the next year and how my methodology looks like. So without further ado, let's just get right into this video. So what we will cover, I'm going to cover the goal setting matrix, anti-goals, metrics or how to track, mindset or automatic steering, the master vision, and then finally at the end, I'm going to give you access to my Notion template, which you can download completely for free, and also just how I set my personal goals. So starting off with the goal setting matrix. So I'm going to talk about how you set goals to define your systems. So the important thing with systems is you have to set the goals first. Many people just copy people's daily routines, what they do on a daily basis, and it doesn't really reflect their goals. And because of that, they're unfulfilled and they don't reach the things that they want to year on year. So when you're setting your goals, from your goals, you can define your actions on a daily basis and the habits that you put in. For example, if you want to make a lot of money next year, don't set the habit of going to the gym 3 times a day and eating a bunch of food and feeling completely tired throughout the day because you're bulking. Be very clear with your goals and set the habits that you do on a day-to-day basis around those goals. I'm also going to talk about how to set an attainable goal, the formula for that, and also I'm going to talk about the 4 sections for holistic improvement, which is the mind, body, spirit, and business. And the reason why I'm talking about these 4 sections is because whenever you set your goals, you don't want to be closed-minded and only pick one area, because each one of these sections is going to act as kind of a pillar for other areas in your life. For example, if you are running a business and you're stuck, chances are your mind, your body, or your spirit can actually be used as kind of a way to improve your business as well. Everything is completely connected in life, and I'm going to go on that more later, but make sure that you really accept that you need these 4 pillars. You need to be thinking of holistic improvement. Now, going on to the mind. So define goals that directly influence your mindset. Examples could be meditation, so X amount of minutes every year, read X amount of books on mindset, get a mindset coach or accountability group, and another goal could be, I will do a silent retreat for X amount of days. These are things that directly influence your mind or how calloused your mind is and how much you can focus and just kind of have this positive mindset to keep on pushing when things get hard. Now is your body. I will reach X amount of weight. I will reach X amount of body fat. I will run a marathon in under 4 hours, etc. Spirit is anything that really gives you a positive attitude. So I will surround yourself with X amount of positive people. I will find a partner that supports my goals. I will pray X amount of times per week. I will gratitude journal for X days straight, etc. This is very personal, but this is anything that really creates inner fulfillment and inner happiness. So make sure that you define this for yourself. I'm just giving here a few examples. And business. I'll make X amount a month, I will grow my audience, etc. So this is anything that relates directly to your income and to your work. So once you realize that you can develop in every facet of life, you will use every opportunity to improve yourself. For example, if you take a holistic view to improvement, you realize that within every conversation that you have, you can take different nuggets and use them for certain parts of your improvement that you just wouldn't see before. So take this very seriously. Nothing will ever get stale. Your creative ideas can stretch to its limits as your mind is expanding in all areas. Leonardo da Vinci was not only a genius because of his painting mastery, but because is also renowned in the fields of civil engineering, chemistry, geology, geometry, hydrodynamics, mathematics, mechanical engineering, optics, physics, pyrotechnics, and zoology. he was a genius because he connected so many different areas and just used all of that creativity for his work, which is why Leonardo da Vinci is extremely famous and arguably one of the biggest geniuses to ever have lived. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to mention him. Let's continue. He connected many skills and techniques to create something truly extraordinary, and you should do the same. I also wanted to talk about this quote because many people refer to it. Jack of all trades, master of none, which is where many people end the quote. However, it continues, though oftentimes better than master of one. So it's basically saying that even though you should focus on one thing and not be a master of everything, it oftentimes is, which is kind of like a paradox, because many people say like, oh, you shouldn't be a jack of all trades, you should just master one thing. But the quote continues and says, most of the time when you know lots of different things, you're better than just being master of one thing. This phrase was coined back in the Old English days around 1390. So now going on to anti-goals, which is extremely important, because when you give yourself goals in these different areas, you should not only define your goals, but also your nightmares. Because when you realize what bad habits you're doing, it leads to you being more aware, and it leads to you being conscious of the things that you should stray away from. Making this clear will also prepare you for more of the consequences and fallbacks of your actions. For example, if you are drinking too much and you have a body goal of being fit and healthy or reaching a certain weight, you will be more conscious of that because you wrote it in your anti-goals. You wrote that I should not drink because I need to be more fit. And your bad habits become more conscious, and your brain kind of realizes that and it's pain with it. So let's continue on. Metrics, how to track. So set ambitious, realistic goals. Set goals that people have done before. Don't set a goal that no one has ever done before, because you're going to register that in your mind as a realistic goal, and you're going to be more motivated to actually achieve it. However, if you are crushing your goals every month so far, then set the bar super high with margins of error. Be reasonable, be reasonable here. So have top 3 priority and several others with lower priority. This means have 3 top goals of the year and then have lots of other projects that you're working on as well. The goals you track should only be for the next year, because we simply can't fathom and your brain can't really comprehend 5 or 10-year goals. And I know many people kind of give you the advice to write down a 5 or 10-year goal, but that is what I like to be called the vision. That is reserved for your vision, which mostly changes a lot. But we really want to focus on the goals for the next year, and I'm going to dive into the vision really briefly when I go into the Notion template. So, also, when it comes to metrics, use daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly mapping to make sure that you're on track. Be relentless with your tracking. Humans are very forgetful, they're not very good at remembering things, and they're bad at keeping habits when it's not tracked. This is why people have coaches, because they can't keep themselves accountable. So be ruthless when just tracking yourself and tracking your progress every single day. This will undeniably get you to your goals. So, example goals for 2024. Top 3. Make X amount of monthly recurring revenue by December 31st. Meditate for X minutes by December 31st. Move to California before December 31st. Now, if you're perspicacious enough, you might have realized that, these goals don't have all of the 4 sections in it, mind, body, spirit, and business. Well, the thing is, if you really look closely, this is a business goal. This is kind of a mind goal because it talks about meditation and just getting a more powerful mind. This, moving to California, could be considered a business goal because it takes money to go to California. However, the main reason you're going to California is because it makes you happy. It's a spiritual goal. You're moving to improve your spirit. So within these 3 goals, we're kind of encapsulating all 4 of those sections that I mentioned before. This isn't completely necessary. However, I can only recommend that you really make this present within the goals, because it's going to be a way more holistic goals for you to strive for. And then obviously here you've got the second priority, which is just other projects that you're running side by side these 3 goals. So reaching 1,000 YouTube subscribers, benching 100 kilograms, running a marathon, etc. So now let's talk about the mindset or the automatic steering. This links very much towards the anti-goals that I mentioned. But once we realize that we're going off track, we need to put a rule in place to keep pushing forwards. So go against the anti-goals. Example, if I skip 2 gym sessions, I will make it a priority to stay consistent the next month without fail. And the reason we do this is we make ourselves aware that we were steering off track. We do not want to have the mindset that if I skip twice, it's okay, I'm going to be fine. Because there's many people online that say, don't be hard on yourself, it's okay, you're doing great, giving these positive affirmations. But what this is actually doing is it's building new neurological pathways to cheat in the future. And that's why we give ourselves negative feedback once we skip. Which means if you give yourself positive feedback when you do a negative action, for example, if you skipped the gym twice and you tell yourself, oh, you're doing great, it's fine, your brain is going to link, oh, if I skip the gym, I'm going to get a positive feedback loop. I'm going to get a positive affirmation. And it just keeps on doing that action. And this is how you fail your habits. So once you don't do something, in some regard, you want to punish yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to be consistent for the next month. Otherwise, I'm going to run 20 kilometers. Sorry. You want to punish yourself in some way. And your brain, once done this many times, is going to realize that. And you're basically going to automatically steer towards your goals because your brain realizes, if I don't do this, I'm going to get a negative consequence. So I don't want myself to fail. So you want to separate your goals from your actual mind, if that makes sense, because your brain only wants positive things. It only wants the dopamine. So you need to kind of steer yourself in the right direction. Now go into the master vision. This is completely separate from the yearly goals we are talking about today. However, if you do want a separate video about the master vision, let me know and I'll make that. But this is very necessary to build the 2.0 version of yourself that gives you the self-confidence to reach your yearly goals. Because the version you are right now cannot reach your goals for this year. And that's why we need a 2.0 version. And the master vision is hypnotizing yourself to be that 2.0 version with lots of text about who that 2.0 version is, mood boards of what the 2.0 version does and what it's striving towards. And that's going to hypnotize yourself to be that person. I will briefly go over the audio I listen to daily that links to my yearly goals soon. So let's go over to the Notion template. So this is the Notion template. It's very, very simple, and I don't have any of my branding on it. I don't have any links to, sell you anything. I just want to give this as a tool that you can use for the next year. And I want you to customize this as much as you can. I call this the Mind Hub. You could call it whatever you want. You could change this emblem. You can obviously, please do change this. I love the Aston Martin's car. So I put this as kind of a mood board, as a placeholder. But please take this and replace it with something. Go on Unsplash or download your own pictures and put it in here to keep as a mood board. I'm just going to keep this for now. So let's go over the roadmap section first. So this is set into 3 different sections. This part, your goals for 2024 and your roadmap, which is kind of a reflection of this. But let's get right into it. So the roadmap is extremely powerful. This is where you're going to track all your projects that you've done for the year. And I consciously set this into two different sections, your projects in progress and your finished projects. The reason is because many of the times we are unsatisfied with the work that we're doing, but when you actually can visualize, like actually see the things that you've finished this year, you're going to feel proud of yourself. You're going to realize that you did so much, and you're going to give yourself the motivation to push forwards. So I'm just going to show you how this works. So let's say you want to run a marathon. Obviously that would be kind of 42 kilometers. And right now there's no progress on it, right? But we want to create a new group, and we want to link it to Run a Marathon. And we want to, let me also just fix this right now because this kind of looks ugly. We don't want that. So let's say we haven't run 5 kilometers before. Let's say we haven't even run 10 kilometers before. We have run 20 though. Okay, that doesn't make sense, but I'm just going to write down all of these different points. And then I'll just go to the 42. And obviously you can kind of break this up how you want. But let's say you ran 5 kilometers, great. 10, you just did 20, and now you're at 60%. So you want to check these off obviously when you do them. And now you have an overview of how far you are in this project. When you go to the Mind Hub, you can see Run a Marathon, 60% progress. Keeps you motivated. Let's do it. And you can do this for all your projects. Now you can have your yearly goals in here, but this is kind of more for projects, but obviously still do this. Still put your yearly goals in here. It's going to give you some motivation. So let's go to the Information Hub. This is for books. So you can have, here it links to your book notes. So here you can look at all the notes you've done. Here's got the text view. This is the author. This is the genre, status, the topics, the progress. You're done reading it. Author, you can see all the authors, the genre, see all the genre. So let's say we read the book, The Way of the Superior Man, by the author David Deida. I already did this video before, so that's why it's already there. And David Deida notes. When you create this, obviously, wait, let me go back. When you create this, you would just, let me just kind of get rid of this. How do I do this? Let me go back. Unlink page. When you do this, you would just do David Deida notes, and you would create a new one. Right now I already made it, so that's why it's already there. Genre, self-improvement. Let's say still reading it. Topics, spirituality, mindfulness, mindset. And then you can do a book library template. Boom, put that in here. It's loading, but basically you can put your own image in here so it shows up with the right image on the cover here. When you click on the David Deida notes, I already kind of put this in here. So maybe I can get rid of this. Hopefully it shows up. Yeah. So I can click the book notes template. And then it will show me the thing that you just saw. So kind of that template where you can put in notes. So introduction, important things to remember, chapter, and then you can always add a new chapter when you go through the different chapters, and it gives you a good overview. Maybe it's here. Now we can add an image. I have no idea if I'm pretty sure it's built like this. No, it's the other way. Okay, obviously the book isn't going to be here, but you can upload your own images of the book. Let's just put this for now. And now you get a cool image of the book, and you say it's still reading, and you have an overview of all the books you've read. By the way, the Information Hub is not only exclusive to books. So you can change this and rename it to just view, and you can have books in here, you can have podcasts, you can create your own genre, like you can just do podcast and then add it in there. And then you can have all sorts of information, just generally just information in here, which is great to keep progress of all the information that you're gathering throughout the year. And then you always have a text view. You always have author view. You see all of this stuff, which is great. So you got the different authors here, all lined, genre. So it's really great because you can see everything in one easy thing. You can see this is still reading. You can move this over, and then now it's read. Yeah, so it's very, very nice to have this overview. So I'm just going to get rid of this because obviously you would want to put your information in here. This is just kind of a placeholder, but let's go back. So now I've got the master vision. Like I mentioned, I want to make a kind of deeper video about how I build this up, but basically I've got an audio, around 5-minute audio, written, or it's me in the audio talking about myself in third person of how I'm going to reach the goals in the next year. I know that was a mouthful, but for example, Jay Hyatt is an extremely good speaker and is a master of social skills. Jay Hyatt is relentless and always does his work in record time. You want to kind of hypnotize yourself with an audio of yourself talking to yourself in third person of what you're going to reach in the next year. You also want to script it out and write it here so you can read it as well. And you want to insert your master vision PDF. This is your 5-10-year goals. And it's things you want to kind of look forward to in the future. And this is kind of a PDF that just helps yourself hypnotize yourself to become better, to become that 2.0 version. By the way, the audio that you talk to yourself about is a 6 to 12 months goals. So it's not in 20 years, you're going to have a wife and children. No, it's going to be more like, I mean, if you're in that stage, sure, like no judge. But that is kind of your 6 to 12 month goals. So, because obviously in the audio, you don't want to talk to yourself and hypnotize yourself when you have a 5-year goal. You just want to do the next year. And I'll kind of do a separate video of how you can set this up yourself. But I'm just going to go on to the next stuff for now. Your goals. These are your goals for 2024. Let me just view the you can view the database in full screen here. And I actually have to fix this because when I click it, it just creates a new daily and I can't edit it. But I'll fix this for you guys so you can write your own little things in here. But obviously you want to break down your goals by week, month, quarter, like I mentioned in the presentation. And you want to jot down everything here and just have it a really good overview. Once you finish the different things, you can put it in the no name or the hidden group here. So you can kind of also keep track of all the things that you completed throughout the year, just to have a good overview. So hopefully that's self-explanatory. But this is it. It's a super easy template you can use. I don't want to make it complicated. I didn't want to add tons of things and make this really overwhelming. I just wanted to really add the things that you need. You don't need anything more. You have a roadmap, you have things to store information, you got your master vision, you got your goals, and then you got an overview, and you got a mood board. That's all you need to win. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm going to put this template to download in the description below. I would love if you would comment and see what you want me to do in the future. And other than that, have a wonderful rest of your day.